Hey guys, it's Sarah here from Tiny Shed Life. Today we are in the kitchen. This week I grabbed 134 pounds of apples, 80 of which I'm going to show you how we store for long-term storage. I'm going to be using these two books to help me preserve these 80 pounds of apples. So when I can find apples at a discount and in bulk, I grab them. Last week, Azure Standard had their apples at 20% off, and this morning when I checked, they were still at 20% off. So including my delivery fee, these apples, organic, cost me $1.29 a pound. That is insane. And what I'm gonna do is the kids and I are going to store them 3 different ways right now. So we will be freeze drying those. I will not walk you through that whole process. I have a video on how we freeze dry our apples, so I'll link that below. I will also link all the equipment we use, like somewhere on this video or below. So if you need help finding it, it'll be right down there. The next thing we're gonna do is some apple jelly. PBJs are my favorite. We're gonna make a ton of applesauce too. The 2 apples I chose were the Fuji apples and then the Granny Smith apples. All right, as always, I will walk you through everything that we're doing. In the comments below, I'd love to hear some ideas for what else I can do with these apples because it's a lot. The first thing we're gonna get started is that freeze dryer because it will run overnight. Kason and I are gonna wash off the apples and get them cut up and put them in the freeze dryer, and then we'll jump into the next recipe. All right, now we've got the freeze dryer started. Out of the Amish canning and preserving book that I got, it says we need 42 to 48 pounds of apples to make this like 25 quarts of applesauce, which is awesome. Before I start the applesauce, I am going to make the apple jelly. We just need 5 pounds, and I want to see if everyone likes it here. I have never made it before, but it looks really simple. 5 pounds of apples, 1 package of powdered fruit pectin, and 5 cups of white sugar. I am going to use the juicer for this. I was reading online trying to figure out like the best way to do it. Obviously you can like cut up the apples in little cubes, juice them. You can also cut them up into cubes and cook them on the stove, which will make them softer and easier to extract the juice. But I have the juicer, so we're gonna use that. I was reading about it, and if you grate your apples, it pulls out a lot more juice and a lot more of the natural pectin in the apples. So we're gonna grate a couple and see how hard that is. I'm always looking for ways to extract more nutrients out of things, so I think this is probably not that hard to do, but we'll see. I'm gonna use 2.5 pounds of each kind, just kind of keep it even. So Case, my man, is going to be washing these off. I just got a little box grater. My other thought is I have a handheld one. Should we use the handheld one and spin them through there? Would that be easier?
Yes, it might be easier.
All right, we'll try it both ways so y'all know. I'm just gonna go to town with this. Y'all stop me if I'm doing something wrong. Oh, that's not bad at all. It is a little juicy though. I don't know if I'm even getting anything out of here. That looks pretty good. Y'all see it coming out of there? Definitely a lot of juice, but I don't know. It's a little time consuming.
You want this to sort of all?
No, you just throw it in there because I will juice it all again. So Dash here is going to juice the peels Kason made. There's already a lot of juice in here. I don't know, y'all, we're trial and erroring. That's how you say it. We're trying this out and just testing it. He's going to pull it into this hopper at the top. We're gonna juice out some additional stuff, and then the girls want to juice too. So we're gonna give everyone a turn. And then we will begin the process of making the jelly. All right, I will just keep pouring this off into here. This is where we will bring it to a boil. And because we have a lot going on today, I'm gonna go ahead and start weighing out the 42 to 48 pounds of apples in order to have 25 quarts of applesauce. It's gonna be a very long day. So I will weigh those out over here, and then we can start washing things and just kind of keep the ball rolling and not stopping and sitting around. Sarah biting off more than she can chew? Oh, not her. If you know me, you know. Just taking on way too much. 42 pounds of apples. Oh my gosh, y'all. This kitchen is covered in apples and a mess. So he is almost done juicing those last 5 pounds that we did for the jelly. And I'm going to make each kid take a turn and wash apples so I can cook us some lunch. and we can keep this train rolling. So before I start that apple jelly recipe in the pot, because you're gonna have to tend to it, you're gonna have to keep it stirred and all that on a boil, so you really can't like step away. I'm gonna prepare all of our jars. We have the powdered pectin in the apple juice. Kason's gonna be in charge of this. He's gonna pour it in, he's gonna stir it until it's fully dissolved. Then we're gonna bring it to a boil, stirring the entire time. Then we're gonna add our 5 cups of sugar, and we're gonna boil that on high, stirring constantly, and then they're gonna be ready for the jars. So now I just need to clean this pot out because this is what I'm going to use to make the applesauce. Kason is going to be removing all the stems from the apples. I'm not like an apple expert, but something I learned about getting this out, if you were like having a hard time, ours kind of kept breaking like right here, so we weren't getting the whole thing. If you cut it, let's see if I can do that. Like if you cut it right along this, so like right here, it's just gonna peel out, pop out so easily. And we will quarter them. This is called whole applesauce. So we use everything, and we have a food mill. So we'll be able to get those, you know, skins and seeds out, but it's gonna allow more nutrients to be in the applesauce, and it's gonna be a really beautiful color. Once it's clean, I will add 2 inches of water to this pot, and we'll throw the quartered apples in. Bring them to a boil till they're soft and mushy. So these have been going relatively long, like an hour maybe. And you see the color, they're kind of like dull. They are definitely, they've sunk down into the water. They're getting closer. I think I want them to go a little bit longer, but I just keep stirring them. And then these are the ones we just did. Look how bright they still are. So we just stuck these in the water. These will eventually sink down and turn to that other color. So that's a huge difference. Let's see if I can get you in color. All right, so there is still a lot of water in here. We're gonna reserve some of it because if we want to thin out our applesauce, we will use that, but we really don't want all that water in our sauce. So let me get another thing out. I have this guy, so I will probably strain like this first into here, and then we'll put it into the food mill. Oh, there it is. That looks great. All right, very hot, so be very careful. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Look at that.
Homemade applesauce.
That looks great. And then here's all the rest of it coming out. We're gonna have a ton of applesauce.
Maybe I'll put it off.
In jars, we're gonna can it.
I love canning it.
You love canning it?
It makes so good.
Something I've upgraded is I used to have, or I still have it, but this plastic funnel, and it's worked great. Like it was fine, but I'm trying to move away from plastics. Not like 100%. We still use a ton of plastic, but I'm just trying to decrease the usage of it. And I found these funnels from 4 Jars. I will link it below. And they're stainless steel. What I love, love, love about them is if you look here, when I have the funnel sitting inside of a jar, it is telling you what headspace you're at. So different recipes call for different headspace. This is your guide built in and no measuring. I love it, and it's stainless steel. It cleans so easily, and there's no plastics. I upgraded the ladle to stainless steel. It has pores on each side, so if you're left-handed or right-handed. We still have a whole nother batch or two to water bath can, but it's really the same thing over and over again. That was a lot of apples, but I'm so glad I'm gonna have these on our shelf. Let's pull them out and see what they look like. The freeze dryer is still going, and those are doing well. We will use those for camping and hiking trips. I have a great camping video for y'all coming up, just kind of what we cooked and how it went for us. We spent 4 nights away in a tent and cooked most of our own food. All right, let's put them up here. You don't want to tip them over, so I'm trying to be as careful as possible using my makeshift thingamajig here. Let's look at them. Come on. Look how good that looks, y'all. So good. Okay, so we're gonna let them sit all day, come to room temperature, then I'll put them away for storage and we'll make apple butter or use them in smoothies or just maybe as a side. As always, I really appreciate you being here. This was jam-packed. No matter where you live, just get in there, practice canning, doing your prepping, your food storage. Then one day you'll be able to implement that like a pro. I really appreciate you being here. As always, I will see you next week. So much applesauce in this house, in this house. So much applesauce in this house, in this house.
Well, Jason, do you want to go to Sudi?